Photoshop Project 8 Web Page Design. This is Stage 2. We are going to be editing layers for visual effects. Photoshop offers a number of tools so that we can manipulate layers, anything from simple transformations to liquefying pixels. We've done some of the almost all the other projects in the book. We've used a lot of these techniques to fulfill specific project goals. For this stage, we're going to run 3 more options for managing and transforming layer content so that we can achieve effects that can't be created using other methods. So the first thing is use frames to place images. We're going to go into the WIP Silk folder and we're going to open the Silk Road file. Again, leave as is, don't color manage. Make sure that your rulers are up and visible, and you're going to right click the horizontal ruler and make sure that pixels is selected, and I'm in inches so I need to change it to pixels. The next thing that I need to do is to control click the layers that are not the type layers. So anything that's a pixel base, I'm going to hold down my control key and select those layers. There are 5 of them, and I'm going to lock them. Then I'm going to pick up my frame tool. It looks like the rectangle, but it's got a big X through it, and make sure that you have the rectangle frame selected. If you don't see your guidelines, go up to View to Show and Show Guides. Now mine was actually clicked to show guides, but when I opened this up before, it wasn't showing all of them. So go into View, Show, and show all of your guides if you were missing any of them. And then we're going to zoom in just a little bit so that it's easier to maneuver. And I need to take my frame tool and create a frame from where the top left corner of the ruler guide meets and drag down and right to where the bottom right intersection is. So it's going from here to create a frame, and it'll kind of snap to those guidelines for you. In the property panel, we now have insert for frame, and I want to take my image and I'm going to select place from local disk embedded, and that's going to bring up my last folder. I want to go into the costumes and I am going to select feature 1 and place it. Now that puts it in full size, which is way bigger than what we really need to have that in. We're going to use the properties panel to change the position. Now remember that the positions that we're putting in don't refer to the image position within the frame. It refers to the position that is in the entire document. So it'll be lining up like right here with the 500 and whatever pixel to be that top corner. So we are actually going to use the properties panel for that, but we could. What we are going to do with this is click the frame thumbnail to select the frame and look at the property panel, and let's take a look at what the frame height is. My frame height is 591. Yours should be something close to that, 590, 591, 589, somewhere in through there. I'm going to match the size of that frame, and actually I might take mine down just a smidge, but what I want to do is click the thumbnail for the placed image next to select it, and then I need to press Control and T to enter free transform mode. That's going to select the image itself, and then in my options bar I can make sure that my maintain aspect ratio option is active, and I'm going to change the height field to 590 pixels and press return to finalize that change, or click the check mark. In the layers panel, I need to select the frame for that layer, and then I'm going to drag the frame so that I get it to match the actual height and width of the image that we created. So I want to click and bring that in tight to it, and the same thing with this side, and then once I have that, in the layers panel I'm going to click on the name of the layer to select both the frame and the artwork inside, and then I can move that horizontally and place it next to the guideline. Then I'm going to grab my frame tool again, and I'm going to create another frame that runs right next to that frame and snaps to the guidelines. And in that frame, I'm again going to select Place from Local Disk Embedded, and I'm going to put in Feature 2 JPEG and place it. I need to select the artwork again. In the Layers panel, I need to click on the image. I'm going to hold down my Control key and T to get the Transform tool and change my horizontal again to 590 pixels and accept that change. Pick up my frame and bring in my frame to be tight to the image. Make sure it's correct. I've got 591 for a height there. I think I need to bring it up just there. And then I can click on the name to select both and slide it over a bit out of the way. Then I'm going to pick up my frame tool again, draw one more frame in here to the guidelines. Again, I'm going to place from Local Disk Embedded. I'm going to pick up Feature 3, place that inside, and well, it actually looks like it's fitting. I'm going to still go through the same thing and Control T to make sure that it is correct, and it's not quite. I want the height again to be 590. Now I know it's correct. The frame actually should fit that because it was tight to it. And I'm going to select the name on it and make sure that it's lined up. Now I'm going to hold down my Shift key, select all three of those, and selecting my new Move tool, I need to align the top edges to make sure they're all nice and in order. And in case yours came out a little different for the width than what mine did, distribute horizontal to make sure they fit. In the book, it looks like they didn't come right snug to each other, and so they were set up so that they had gaps. That's fine if yours came up that way. There might be a little bit difference in the way that you configured yours. Then you can save this file, and then we'll continue with the next part, which will be using the Puppet Warp to transform a layer. I'm going to now zoom out just a little bit. There. Minus. I want to be able to see a little bit better where I'm going with this. Let me use my hand tool to move that and center this. And I am going to unlock my silk layer, and I need to hide my layer guides. So I'll go to View, Show, and hide my guides. Right click the silk layer and choose Convert to Smart Object. By converting this to a smart object, we are going to do the puppet warp, and it's not going to be a destructive method. Now we're going to choose Edit and select Puppet Warp. In the option bar, make sure that you've got Show Mesh selected and choose Distort for the mode. And choose for density fewer points. Click the mesh near the center of the silk layer to place an anchoring pin. Click the top right corner of the mesh and without releasing the mouse button, drag it up above the top edge. That's going to put a new pin in, and it rotates the layer around the first pin. Click near the top left corner of the silk and drag up to bend it. It's going to bend around that center pin. We want it somewhere underneath Silk Road. Click the center pin and drag it to the left to change the distorted shape. Add another pin to the bottom right corner and drag the new point until the pin is just past the canvas edge. We're going to take and drag this over a little farther. You can keep maneuvering this until you actually get something that you're happy with. So if you want to do something else with it, you can tip it a little bit more. You can bring this down a little lower. It's kind of up to you how you want to design that. You can add new points at any, new pins anywhere you want to. So, maybe you want to get some other kind of a twist in here, you can do that. In fact, if I were to bring this down just a little bit here, I might want to take a pin and move this around a little bit more. It's totally up to you how you want to make this look. If you pick up a pin and you can press the Alt key with it, so let me find my original pin and press my Alt key, and then I can get a rotation proxy on there. Oh, I just deleted that pin, so let me put that one back. But I should be able to hold, oh, there's that rotation. So you can do, weird rotation things. I don't think I like that one there. You can also delete pins if you're not happy with them. So holding down my Alt key again, I think I can get rid of that pin. So there's a lot of things that you can do with this. Oh, that pin didn't work out so well. I think I should be able to go in there and make some other rotations and things. So play with this. I don't like what I did, so I'm going to cancel it, and I'm going to go back in and do this over. But you can play with that as much as you'd like and get it the way you want it. And keep working it until you're happy with the results that you have. Then you can press enter or click on the commit button. Click the arrow button in the layers panel to collapse the smart filters for that silk layer. And you can save the file.